Quebec Pro standout Michael Dufort, as well as Pro Harris FC welterweight Christopher Curtis. Let's do it.
Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome to episode 88, sponsored by our friends at Envisage Sport. Check it out at envisagesport.ca.uk. Available on Amazon exclusively. Check them out on Instagram as well, Facebook, social media. Fantastic friends of the podcast and of the promotion, hopefully in the future. But great people. Anyway, hope everybody out there is having a great day. Beautiful day here in Nova Scotia. John can't join us this week. Unfortunately, he's back to teaching classes at Abaya. So I'm going to be training kind of sparsely a little bit in the next little bit. So we're going to try to fit these in as best we can. Make hay when the sun shines, I guess they say. I don't know if that's right or not. I'm not really a good farmer. Anyway, let's get into our episode here tonight. Two athletes who are, one athlete based out of Quebec. He's fought in TKO. He's fought in numerous promotions. He trains out of H20 MMA. His name's Michael Dufort. A record of 7-3 as a pro. Ironically enough, he has a record of 7-3 as an amateur as well. Trains with a stable of really, really tough athletes in Quebec. Like I said, with the captain at the helm, Mr. Richard Howe, handling a lot of really, really talented athletes in Quebec in general is just it's insane how many high-level athletes are there, just kind of have made the leap or waiting to make the leap. And, I think a lot of the credit there goes to, the people who have came before in Quebec. There's a ton of high-level athletes that have came out of Quebec. So I guess without further ado, let's get into it. We'll bring him on right away. As I said, he's coming off a recent win. He fought Jesse Ronson in TKO, a really, really great fight, actually lost by decision, and then went back and took another fight not too long after, and took the win and got back in the win column and looked really good doing it. So let's bring him on. And I've been bugging him to fight forever. So let's see if we can get him on and have a good chat with him. Without further ado, Mr. Michael Dufort. Oh, how are you, sir?
What's up?
How are you? We're having some camera issues. I can't see you.
Oh shit, it's bugging. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll just go ahead with it.
I'll try something.
So we're just going to try to get this technical issue fixed, folks. Nothing like live TV in front of 3 people to throw you off. Here we go. Let's get him back on. There he is. How are you, man? How's things? Thanks for joining us.
Is it good?
Perfect. You can hear me?
You got me?
I can hear you, but you can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you.
You can?
Yeah, now I can.
All right, there we go. Perfect. Live bloopers on TV, folks. There you go. Michael Dufort, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no, again, like I said before, I've been bugging you to fight for us a couple different offers. Not offers, really, but through your manager and a few different people about talking. How did you get into this whole sport? What's martial arts lifestyle? What's it for you?
For now, it's different because of all the stuff happening right now. But man, I just came back from a surgery of my knee, so I guess it's the best time to get this surgery. So I'm coming back to training. So it's been 2 weeks. I'm training hard.
Nice.
But I'm going easy, starting easy and upgrading the tempo.
Smart. What was the injury, if you don't mind? Just kind of scar tissue, or?
I was training and I received a bad kick inside my patella,
and
it broken.
Ugh.
So it broken, and I had to fight. My last fight, I fought with the patella broken. So I was like, oh shit. Should I cancel the fight? Should I? Man. We're athletes. You know what it is. We're man, we live for this, so we can't cancel like this. It sucks.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing. I shouldn't say yes, I do know what it's like, because I don't. I'm not one of those. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but I'm not a great competitor. I don't have that. I'm working on it, but to go in there and do that, and the mental toughness, and then to also have that injury, not just the mental or the physical toughness to overcome that, but to know that you're injured going into that fight is an incredible thing. Like that's what makes a fighter, huh?
Yeah, I think first it's in the head. You have to be prepared for everything, and if you're ready to go with your head, your body's gonna follow. Like it's all about what happened in your head.
Yeah, that's actually very, the muscle memory, like you said, is going to follow. If you've repped it enough times, eventually it's going to. Even myself, I struggle with competing, but I get out there, and the things that I would normally do in the gym, I do before I panic and gas out. But
yeah, man, the stress of the fight, we're able to do like five times 5 minutes in training camp, like easy, and then the fight's coming. You fight at 100%, and after 10 minutes, you're like, "Fuck, man, another round to go." And damn,
it's such a hard sport. But I guess going back to mentally, and you have an incredible team around you. Before we get into the team, one thing I also wanted to ask you is to start your pro career. Like you started with 2 losses. A very interesting start to a pro career after a long amateur career, and you really start with 2 losses. Now you haven't lost since 2012. No, I do, other than Jesse.
Yeah, I lost my last fight against my fight against Jesse Ronson. That fighting Thursday night at UFC.
Yeah.
So man, I gave a hell of a fight. I think.
Very good fight.
Losing by split decision was a close fight. Nice fight. Was nice. But I overcome the 0-2 because, man, like I said, if you're mentally ready, you can, like every fight after that, those 2 losses, I was like, man, I can't lose. If you can't lose, you're gonna win. So that was my mentality, and man, I won 6 in a row and fought a hell of a fighter in Jesse Ronson.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful fight.
Yeah, man, was fun to do.
I bet. Well, for you, for me as a promoter, I look at and as a fan and as an athlete or whatever, I look at TKO, and it's other than the UFC, how do you get much better than that? And then on top of that, you're fighting in Quebec City, at the Videotron Center, pretty close to home for you, just down the road from Sorel. So it's not like it's a lot of pressure, and then you went out there and handled it like a stud, man.
Yeah, I think I'm the kind of fighter that this kind of environment, like the stress of fighting with our people around, and I think I perform better when I'm in those situations than in the gym or other place.
Interesting. Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. That's what really makes the difference in a pro athlete. Like if there's lots of gym warriors out there, but the people who can do it under the bright lights,
you have to step up. Some people are like, they're afraid and they're downgrading their game when they have to fight the big day. But there's some fighter, I think I'm a part of this one, that step up. Their brain is ready for this, and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch too when a fighter's so comfortable. It's an incredible thing. And what do you think about that? Like when we go back to your team, Richard Howe and people like Adam Sacco and Olivier Mercier, and the list goes on that you guys train with over there, and not just that, like in Montreal and in Quebec in general, a lot of people work together, and it's, I don't know, I don't want to get in shit for saying this, but Quebec's got to be the hotbed for martial arts in Canada, I think.
Yeah, Quebec's the place, man. I have H2O that my main coach, Richard Howe, is there. So I train there a lot, and there's TriStar just across the street.
Yeah.
Not so far. So, man, there's so much UFC fighter people we don't even know. And you're rolling with them, you're like, damn, this guy is strong, and your coach tell you like, oh, he's a professional, he's 20-0, and fuck, man, that's nice.
Yeah, the experience level is just so high, and it's important for you to lose. It's important for you to go into the gym and feel that shit, and feel those guys who are 20-0 and like bullying you a little bit. Like if you don't, then you're never going to get those looks. You're never going to grow as a fighter, right?
Yeah, you have to be in in the hot water, man. If
Yeah.
you're able to overcome the during the training camp, man, you'll have a deja vu during the fight.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah. Do you attribute a lot of your success in that regard to like just kind of putting in the time, grinding, like even through COVID, like with this injury, obviously to come off this injury, you're putting in time to come back and be healthy off it. Like your success, is that a lot based on your hard work?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because man, I want to do it. I want to be in the UFC. I want that's the dream. That's the biggest goal.
Yeah.
So I'll work my ass off till I get there.
Yeah, well, it's probably not too far away. Like, when you look at a guy like you just said, Jesse, who you went the distance with, lost a split decision, like a really, really great fight, entertaining fight
Yeah,
too. And now, like you said, he's been in the UFC 3 times. He got the call, I think 3 times. Maybe this is his fourth
yeah,
call. I don't
yeah.
know. But, that just must give you the confidence to be like, hell yeah, I'm right there.
Man. Plus, I was supposed to fight Damien Lapillus in
Oh,
TKO.
wow.
Then shit happened, and we both made the weight 155. And the day of the fight, I received a call from TKO owner, and he tells me, "Oh, your fight's canceled." So I was like, "Damn, seriously, you can't cancel a fight?" And then Charles Jourdain take my place because Jesse Ronson couldn't fight. Jesse Ronson was supposed to fight Charles Jourdain, and I was supposed to fight Damien Lapillus. Something happened to Jesse Ronson, so they took my opponent. They gave him to Charles. So Charles beat Damien Lapillus, and then received a
Like,
call from the UFC.
interesting.
Man, what a fucking story! Like, if
Wow.
I would have beat Damien, maybe I would have been in the UFC or something like
Yeah.
that. But man, that was the worst moment of my life. Like,
Oh, dude.
man,
It's
training
interesting.
camp, 3 months of training camp, hard training camp, trash talk with Daniel Epilus, and he tells me at the weigh-in like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass," blah 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 blah, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna kick your ass in the first round tomorrow night, and then no fight." Shit.
Oh, man. Oh my God. So he did get to fight. Is that right?
Who?
No, Jesse got to fight.
No. Charles Jourdain fight Damien Lepulus. Jesse didn't fight because he had something to his skin.
Oh, yes. That's right too. I remember that. That's right. Oh my God, man, what a brutal situation. This sport is full of weird
Yeah, man.
situations like that too.
I was the co-main event. Charles Jourdain versus Ronson was the main event, and man, shit happened. I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess going back to that, it's the mental toughness of like, because at the end of the day, you have to like let it go. Like I struggle with that too because I'm like, fuck, like no, I don't want to let that. That's where the competitive, comes out, right? But in this sport, like there's so much bullshit like that can happen. It's so much. There's so many things that depend on so many other factors to work for a fight to actually happen. For two people that are scheduled to fight
Yeah.
to make it to fight, man, it's almost like you have to pray every night.
Yeah, I know some guy like Julien Leblanc had like
Yeah.
16 fight canceled. Man, you can't be unlucky like this. Man.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And I tried.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I tried. Yeah, I tried to have a revenge with Damien Lepulus, but I think his coach owned Ares MMA in France,
Ah,
and I called him out a couple of times, and I think he's scared for his athlete. Man, I would destroy this guy. I think during the weigh-in, he knows it. He knows it
was
wasn't
he
a good night for him.
is he Aries FC now?
Yeah, Ares. I don't know, man. Ares MMA, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So interesting. I wonder if he signed with them. It's fuck, this sport is bananas. So what that whole right after that, it was that when TKO kind of stopped doing events, I believe.
Sorry,
Like
what?
right after that, like TKO was finished, correct?
I think they had one or 2 more events, but that was my last fight on my contract fight.
Yeah.
And I was finished with TKO. I signed with another organization for a fight against Arizmendi.
Yeah.
Tough Mexican guy. It was very tough, but get the job done.
A new era, correct?
Yeah, new era in Quebec City too.
Yeah. And how was that promotion? Like you fought for, man, like at least 10, close to 10 promotions, I think, in your career.
Yeah. Yeah, man, a lot of promotion. I think I had like three, 4 fights with TKO, and then it's all different organization. But man, I can't lie on this. TKO can organize a great show. Like, it's good on TV. It looked very good on TV, and on MMA Fight Pass and UFC Fight Pass, like it's a good show.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the best place I had to fight.
Yeah. No, it is. It's from a, like you said, from a fan perspective, from a promoter perspective, it's a beautiful, beautiful show to look at. And who knows what the hell's going to come back with them? But I don't know. For now, my focus is FLA, Fight League Atlanta, I guess.
Yeah, I know. You have to.
Yes, man. So how, like, for you, like, who's a person like? Oh, by the way, you know Faber, I assume, pretty well from MMA.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. I see him commenting here.
Yeah, I saw some of his writing. Like, it's in French. It's bullshit.
Yeah. I definitely have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So, like, he could say whatever. It doesn't matter. But I love that guy, Adam Sacco, too, another good guy, training partner of yours. He was on here before too, but kind of similar questions I asked them too. Like, well, who's somebody that has been important to you, kind of throughout this, like maybe like young, earlier on in your career, and then somebody who recently has really kind of helped you kind of get to the next level and maybe get over humps that you might not have earlier in your career.
Man, I have a great family. We're 5 children, and I guess my family helped me like to push in that sport. And I have Richard Howe. He's not my first coach, but he's one of the guy that helped me a lot to stay focused. And he's kind of my mom. Like, don't do this, don't do that, but he's always directing you in it. Yeah, we need that as an athlete. We can be stupid sometimes, and he's the one that tell me what to do. I listen to him like most of the time. I have my agent, is good too for me. Man, I have a couple of guys, like even my sponsor, like Jikado MMA is fucking good for me. Like they giving me shit, and I have to train. I don't have to bother with other stuff. Like, I don't have to bother on my training camp, on my physical strength, on my fight.
Yeah, it's nice when you can focus on that. You don't have to worry about what it's costing you, like it's, I think that's a big part of it. Even amateur fighters, if you can put the hustle in, you might not always be making big money as an amateur or as a pro, but if you put the hustle in with some sponsors and market yourself properly and do the work, you can actually grind out some money in this sport. It's not an easy living for sure, but neither is any job in this life. But at the benefit of this is you're following a dream and you're doing what you love, which most people can't say.
Yeah, that's the point. I guess I can say better. Man, we're fighting. It's our passion to do MMA. So, man, I'm lucky to be able to do this in the big league.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right? Like, that's what I was saying, going back to fighting in the Videotron Center. I've been in that building, by the way. That must have been a hell of an experience. That's a big league venue, like a 20,000 seat stadium. They would have cut it in half still, with 10,000 people or whatever, how many people they would sell in that show. It's an insane experience, man. And you must be proud of yourself. Win or lose, doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah, I saw something.
So obviously you want to win, but
yeah, we have to step up. Like, we gain respect of the opponent when we step in the gym, in the cage with him. And man, it's so fun. The the people screaming your name, man. It's awesome. It's a feeling that not a lot of people can say they live. Like, we're lucky to experience that.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And you, as I said, I'm kind of working on it. But for anybody like you guys who can actually compete, I think it's a pretty impressive thing. And you know, before I let you go here, I just got a couple. Going back to Richard Howe, you know, he's a guy that I've heard a lot about through the years, and you know, you hear so much about Faraz Sahabi. Faraz is obviously a wizard. You know, he's who he is for a reason. But you also hear a lot about Richard Howe. And he kind of slides under the radar a little bit, but man, he seems to be one of those guys, like just similar to Faraz, like an absolute kind of, when it comes to knowledge, he knows a shit ton and he uses it well.
Yeah, he's so bright. He's black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm good in MMA because I'm strong, and man, sometimes I do some move I don't even know what I'm doing, but it works. But
Yeah.
there's this guy Richard that is like, help me to know what I'm doing. I mean, when you're good but you don't know what you do, you're not sure you're gonna do the same good reaction you did for this move. So
Yeah.
you have that Richard O that will help you to always do the good move, be in good position. Man, don't give up on your takedown, on anything, and he can push. He can push the athlete. He can very help any athlete in the world.
Yeah, it's not. I guess like you said, that's very well said about how he can help you in your game. But I guess going back to what you also said about how he'll keep you on the straight and narrow. Like that's such an important thing for fighters. Like I've been dealing with fighters for a long time, and you see some of the things that kind of goes on social media wise, and you're like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking right now? You know, because I look at like every fighter is their own business. Every fighter, you're your own business, really. If you want to take this seriously,
yeah, right.
like you should be taking it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have the best example possible in John Bone Jones. Like, this guy is so talented, but doesn't give a fuck about being a good person, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man. Yeah, and then you have like you go back to like look at Quebec, and I know I'm gonna miss people here, but look at GSP. Like at the end of the day, how he carried himself, and look at Quebec now. Now, and there's lots more people. Obviously, there's lots more people involved with like, and I don't want to say any names because I'm gonna miss some names, but like when you have that many superstars coming out of one province, in the future of what is right now and from what's to come it's insane. And it's all, I think, based on every Quebec, not everyone, but 90% of the fighters I talk to from Quebec are really classy.
Yeah, man, George St. Pierre is the GOAT, and in Quebec we all have this image of the great fighter. Like, we want to be that kind of fighter, that dominant, and man, he's the GOAT inside and outside the cage. That's why he's so great.
Yeah, it's true. You know, like at the end of the day, I don't know what, I guess, you know, you can be an asshole outside the cage, but deep down, you know, you're always going to have haters, but it's some hard to hate a guy like GSP. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
They still find them though. There's still lots of guys out there who definitely find ways to chirp. But what's next for you, man? You know, coming off this injury, you know, is there anything kind of in the mix, or have you been speaking any promotion to agent or?
In Canada, it's hard right now because the government is shutting down everything and every combat sport. So me and my agent are looking to maybe France or maybe France in Europe. I don't care, man. I just want to fight. So France is good because, man, there are cousins in Quebec. So, man, and plus TKO brings so many MMA France guys to fight in Quebec, man. Why? I don't know when they're gonna be good to organize MMA fight, but when they will be able to, man, I want to be part of this journey.
Yeah, no, it's very true. It's, I don't know. We're we're hoping to still put something on. But like you said, Canada, it's crazy the difference between countries. You know, up here our whole country shut down, and then you look down in Florida, and legit, like in the middle of this chaos, Florida, they're still putting on regional events like crazy and crowning champs, and people in the crowd, they do not give a shit. Period. It's nuts.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, we have to be smart and man.
Yeah, but I still think like it's weird because out here in Nova Scotia, we are allowed to put on events with up to 200 people. You can do events now with up to 200 people. So technically, we should be able to put on an event, but the commission's closed. They will not take the risk until they won't even look at an event until the beginning of next year. So, but I don't know.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. There is another commission that hopefully we can work something out with maybe down the line. But if not, man, we got some other things we're looking at too. That there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's not a good saying, I guess, but. I got to come up with a better saying. Yeah. So,
okay, man.
Any last questions? Any advice for somebody who's in your position and coming off an injury after a pretty successful start to their pro career and a long successful amateur career? Any advice for those athletes?
I guess, man, if you really want it, keep pushing. You're gonna have it. Be UFC. UFC is gonna see you once, and you have to impress them. So keep pushing, man.
Yeah, that's true. You get that one shot, maybe two, maybe three sometimes in Jesse's case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, all right, man. Well, thanks so much. Any quick shout outs you want to give to anybody out there?
Shout out to everybody that's our training in Quebec, man. And, man, shout out at every MMA fighter that finds some way to train right now, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Keep the love for all your teammates up there and make sure everybody's safe and sound. Be well, my friend. We'll speak soon.
Yes. Take care. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. There you have it, folks. Mr. Michael Dufort. Give him a follow on social media. Fantastic athlete out of Quebec City. Waiting on our second athlete to join us here now, Christopher Curtis he's out of Los Angeles, California. Trains at Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas. We're just waiting for him to join us here now. I need the Ariel. I need or Joe. I need another producer instead of just producing it while I'm live at the same time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, hope everybody's enjoying themselves at home. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, this episode is sponsored by our friends at Envisage Sport. Pre-workout coffee at its best. Find it at amazon.co.uk. You can find it up here right there in the top right logo. And fantastic stuff. You can drink it cold, you can drink it hot, doesn't matter. Anyway, it'll get you going before your workout. Check it out at online, Amazon. Whew. All right, folks. Just before we get our next guest on, let's talk about we have some jiu-jitsu tournaments going on in Canada. I've been noticing them kind of popping up here out in Alberta. They have a big, I don't know if it's 8-man or 16-man kind of open grappling tournament going on. I'm not sure. I believe it's Tim Blanchard and crew out there doing it, which is good. And then I also out here on the East Coast, Rogue Grappling is coming up with their Grand Prix, their second Grand Prix, which is cool to see. It's a really, really great bracket, pretty much stacked bracket here on the East Coast. Joel Jacquard, the champion there, he's going to go up and he's got a really tough bracket this year. So we'll see if he can defend that title, and that should be good. That'll be available on their YouTube channel in August. I'm not sure the date, but hopefully we can maybe watch it and stream and watch it together and we'll do a watch party, I guess. Justin McKenzie just took some, heading to training now. I'm glad you took the product. I hate that you're going to training because I'm very jealous. Back at training for me tomorrow night. Just stay tuned here, folks, and we'll see if we can bring on our final guest of the evening. I guess our second guest of the evening, too. Just one sec. Hello, folks. Looks like we're going to have a little trouble here getting Chris on here tonight, but that's okay. He might have got the time a little bit mixed up. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's break down this Rogue grappling bracket really quick. I believe Joel Jacquard, as I said, the champion, Matthew Tarantini, who is super talented at a GF team. I believe he's in the bracket. Joe Pilmer out of MXT. Who the hell else? Sean McManus. Anyway, maybe we'll just dedicate a whole episode to this and not go through this tonight. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll be back tomorrow night with an episode late, starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll be back. Tune in. We'll be back Wednesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night this week. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you then. Lots of love.
Take it on the wrong way. Leave you slumped near the bum near the bar place. This red light put your ass in a dark place. It is the ultimate marathon from the land, which is the city of Babylon. Dress in my head, don't confuse me for sin. I'm one of a gun that go like a Digimon when I be farming. Not many books, raw, ain't no Hakuna Matata. Cars, you shouldn't fuck with him, man.
You're naked, no hooks in, but he gets it anyway.
Run up on up.
Oh, good overhand right. That's it. This fight is over.
Thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button and make sure to check out our apparel page, on sale now until July 13th. As always, thanks to our friends. We'll see you tomorrow.